Welcome back. Well, the big story that we're tracking this hour, 6-year-old Timmanna is putting up a fight inside a borewell at a depth of almost 160 feet. He fell into the borewell yesterday at around 1:30 p.m. and it has been several hours now, but oxygen is being provided to the little boy. But what is being a cause of concern is the fact that he's slipping further down in this 300-foot deep borewell, and that could prove to be quite tricky for the officials to handle. Already 160 feet is a great depth to reach out to, and there is a two-pronged operation actually taking place in Bagalkote even as we speak. While on one hand the NDRF with other district officials have actually been digging a parallel pit to reach out to the little boy, on the other hand Manje Gowda has been called in to use his robot to pull up the boy, which if successful will prove to be a much easier task than digging a parallel pit. Let's listen to what Manje Gowda had to say before he started the operation that is in progress even as we speak.
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಣೆಗೆ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ತನಕ ಅವರು ಯಾರು ಆ ದಳದವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇವಾಗ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟ ತನಕ ನಾವು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಚರಣೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಒಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್?
ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದು 3-4 ಜನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ. ಹೌದು.
ಈ ಮುಂಚೆ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಾಲಕರನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆತ್ತಿದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಇದಾವೆ
ಸರ್? ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದೋ ಜೀವಂತವಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಗುನ ಎತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನಾವೇನು ಗೊಂಬೆನ ಹಾಕಿ ಅದೇ ಮಗು ಥರದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡಿ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಂದು 7-8 ಸಲ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Well, in fact, Manje Gowda are going on to state that this will be their first successful stint if they manage to pull up Timmanna, and what has come as heartening news is the fact that the robot has managed to reach the 6-year-old boy at this point in time. If it manages to grip the boy, then probably in the next couple of hours we will see 6-year-old Timmanna being part of a dramatic rescue operation. He could be pulled out absolutely safe, as it will be within the span of 24 hours, and he is being provided with oxygen. But it is a very tricky situation still, considering that this borewell in question is freshly dug up. It is not an old abandoned borewell, and that's the reason why the mud is not exactly hard and firm. It is very, very unstable and is collapsing easily. We have a borewell expert joining us over the phone line, Mr. Sudarshan. Mr. Sudarshan, now this is a borewell that is almost 15 to 20 days old only. What are the challenges that the officials are ideally facing now?
Madam, normally a failed borewell, there will be a casing pipe inside the borewell.
There is no casing pipe in this one if we do look at the visuals.
Yes. So what happens is when there is no casing pipe in the borewell tends to collapse from the top.
Okay.
Wherever loose soil is there, the borewell will tend to collapse.
Especially because it's a new borewell?
No, otherwise also because of vibrations around the well.
Okay.
Normally a casing pipe is put to keep the borewell stable, so that the mud doesn't fall inside the well.
Right, and also Mr. Sudarshan, what has been the cause of concern is that the child is slipping deeper and deeper into the borewell. Is there any possibility that the last bit of the borewell is tapered down and the child won't slip anymore? He's at a depth of 160 feet now in a 300-foot deep borewell.
Yeah, it depends on the strata of the borewell.
Okay.
What type of soil formation is there inside the borewell? It depends on that.
Okay.
Soil formation. So based on that only they can decide, because if it is a loose soil, the boy will start sinking deeper. He'll start going deeper inside the well.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sudarshan, there is a two-pronged approach actually being adopted by officials here. They are on one side trying to dig up a parallel pit and reach out to the boy. On the other hand, they're trying to use this robot which will reach down to the boy and pull him up. According to you, what do you think is the wise way out?
No, they have to dig a parallel well, but at a distance, because what happens is when they dig by the side of the well, this borewell tends to collapse even further.
Okay.
All the mud which is trying to be lifted out from that parallel well will fall into this well, pushing the person even deeper inside.
Right, and Mr. Sudarshan, I'll request you to stay with us over the phone line. We'll come back to you and speak to you more about this, but we have a big update just coming in. In fact, Manje Gowda's robot has reached the boy. Timanna is stuck at a depth of 160 feet now. And Manje Gowda's robot, which they had started lowering just about an hour ago, has reached the boy, but whether it will be able to grip him and pull him up is something that we have to hope for at this point in time, as little Timanna fortunately has fallen body first. He's not fallen head first. And that's the reason why they're hoping that the robot will be able to grip him and will be able to pull him up. They've been able to spot his hands is what we understand, and that is what is getting the hopes up of the rescue personnel. If this works out in the next couple of hours, we will see probably little Timanna being rescued. It will be one dramatic rescue operation and everyone is hoping for the best. But the latest update being just that Manje Gowda's robot has reached Timanna, has reached the depth of 160 feet where Timanna is stuck at the moment. But whether it has been able to grip him, and that could take a little while for us to know, and certainly everyone is hoping that it could save them. The arduous task and the arduous wait for a parallel pit to be dug up and to reach out to the little boy. Instead, they're really hoping that this particular robot works. We have seen this work in one case previously. It was not the robot of Mr. Manje Gowda, it was the robot of one Mr. Manikandan from Chennai, who had managed to save a little boy in Tamil Nadu who had fallen into a borewell. But it is extremely difficult when the child has fallen at a depth of 160 feet. But if the soil is permitting, probably the robot will work in their favor.